Okay, we're going to go in and talk about some of the messaging that comes along with sales type transactions, the setting around the messaging. So if I come in here to my gear and over to account and settings, we go to sales, then down below here we have a couple of different preferences we're going to run through: messages, reminders, online delivery, and statements. So the first one is messages. Okay, so this is setting up the default message that goes out when you send a particular sales type form. Okay, so first of all, do we want to use a greeting or not? Dear or to or blank, and just put in their name, first, last, title, last, first, full name, company name, display name. Most times I see people leave it blank and then just do company name, right? Customer name that you're sending it out to. Then we go to our sales form. So which one of these are you setting up? Your invoices, your estimates, your credit memos, right? So you can have different templated messages based on the sales form that you're sending out. So we're going to go ahead and stick to invoice here. Okay. In the email subject line, we can come in and say invoice, and then in these open brackets and closed brackets, it's going to pull the invoice number for us. It says invoice from Fourlane. Here's your invoice. We appreciate your prompt payment. Thank you for being a customer. Referrals. So sometimes in the body down here we'll say, thank you, or thank you for being a customer, but referrals are welcome. So I can spell. Okay. Now you can choose to email a copy to yourself along the way, anything that goes out you want to see. Also, you can see new invoices with a particular email address, and then also blind copy if you want to. Down below here, we have our sales form also, right, on the bottom. So the message on the bottom of the form, basically, you can do a different message on estimates versus invoices. So just down here, I'm going to say new stuff that I want to say. And go ahead and say save. Okay, so where does this come out? When I go into my customers and I'm going to look at my project new build and open up my estimate, right? And when I say save and send, it's going to pop up estimate 104 from Fourlane. Here's all the information. Have a great day. On the form, it's going to say all of this, all the information that we have set up there. Now, we also did the setup of an invoice. Okay. On an invoice, I say save and send. Here it picks up. Where is it coming from? Okay, so you can add different addresses here. What's the invoice subject? Here, Marjorie Adams, new project build. Here's your invoice. Have a great day. Referrals are welcome, right? And then you can see all the information that you have chosen to send over there. Now, on the invoice base, see how it says this extra stuff here. When I go back to my settings, and I come down to messages, down below here when I choose invoices, see that's where that extra stuff came in. Okay. So our preferences there. Now let's talk about reminders. So you can set up invoice reminders to go out automatically. It's kind of a similar thing. Dear whoever, first, last, title, last, company name. You can use a standard message. So reminder, your payment to Fourlane is due. All right, now one of the things that they have here is you have insert placeholder, right? So if I say reminder and I want to do the drop down company name, so it's going to say reminder Fourlane, your payment is due to Fourlane, or reminder Joe's shop, your payment is due to Fourlane, or your payment to Fourlane is due. Okay. Then down below here again, you can modify the email message that they're going to see and also email a copy to yourself if you want to. Okay, so those are just reminder emails, not the initial email that's being sent out, but reminder emails. Now down below here we have a preference also on email options for all sales forms. So do we want to show a short summary in the email, or do we want to show full details? Okay, so always take a look at what that means. If I say save here, I'm actually going to use the secondary screen to go to the invoices under new project build. and I say save and send, right? It's a simplified email over here. Now, if I go back and I turn on full details email and say save, come out of here, go to sales, and I'm sorry, go to invoice here, and save and send, you're going to see more information, right? What are they paying for? So more information is going to show up in the actual body of the email. Okay. So always test. It's always good to test. So let me go to gear, back into sales settings here. Going down below, online delivery method. So we can have the PDF attached to the email if we want to. We can also choose email options for invoices. So you want it to look like the online invoice, HTML, or plain text. Okay, most people choose the online invoice in this case. Now the statements. So the last piece here, so very similar to the online delivery. Do we want each transaction as a single line, or do we want to include all detail lines of the transaction? And then do we want to show an aging table at the bottom of the statement? So I'm just going to show you all detail lines, and then I'm also going to include the aging table at the bottom of the statement because it makes life a lot easier. So go ahead and close out of this. Now I could come up here to new and do a statement, of course, or if I know the customer that I'm going to be working with, I can open up the customer and come in and say new statement. Okay. Oh, you know what? They don't have a balance. This one. Yes. This customer does not have a balance. So let me go back into customers and go to Marjorie Adams here and say new statement across the board. And go ahead and say save and send. And then on the side here, you'll see the details, right? So in this invoice, and here is the amount, this invoice, and here's the detailed amount. This invoice has a discount and some gratuity, so it just gives a lot more details. And then along the bottom, we have what is currently due, what is past due, 30 days, 1 to 30 days, 31 to 60, etc. All right, that wraps up our preferences around mailing out sales forms.